You ever have one of those days where you do something tiny, barely worth mentioning at the time, then months later, you realize that little act rewrote your whole life? Yeah, this is one of those stories. Grace was nobody special, just a bakery girl with a soft heart and a wallet thin as air, no power, no fancy last name, just grit and kindness holding her together. Samuel, well, he was about as far from her world as a person could get. Young, billionaire, every headline had his name. But at the end of the day, that man was more alone than a streetlight at midnight. Their paths should never have crossed, but life's got a sense of humor. You know what I mean? The sun was almost gone when Grace finally locked up the bakery. She was bone-tired, her back aching from 12 hours on her feet, but her mind already racing home to her sick mama. She pulled out her battered purse, just enough for one ride. Nothing left for food, not even a backup plan. Out on the street, everything felt sticky and restless, the city buzzing as folks hustled home. At the bus stop, Grace counted her last bills twice, half wishing she'd miscounted, but luck wasn't on her side. She watched the crowd, all those tired faces leaning against rusty poles, everyone just trying to get by, same as her. At the same time, a few blocks over, Samuel sat in the back of a black SUV, suit jacket folded, staring out the window with that look people get when they're used to having everything except what they need. The guy ran Stoneway Group, inherited the throne after his dad died. A genius on paper, a ghost at heart. He told his driver to drop him off and wandered out, just for some air, not really paying attention to the world, which was his first mistake. He took a wrong turn and ended up somewhere he didn't belong, and before he could backtrack, bam, three guys appeared, one flashing a knife, another gripping a stick. Phone, wallet, money was all they said, and that was it. They stripped him of everything except his clothes and left him stranded, heartbeat racing, mind blank. For the first time in his life, he didn't have a number to call, not a soul to save him. That kind of vulnerability, it shakes a man to his core. Samuel stumbled out to the main road, dust sticking to his once perfect shoes, and spotted a bus stop. Figure maybe, just this once, he'd try public transport like the rest of us. Grace was there, eyes half shut, but ears sharp, watching as the bus rolled up. Then all hell broke loose up front, the conductor yelling, "No money, no seat," and shoving a tall, well-dressed man back. Samuel tried to explain, robbed, no wallet, just needed a ride, but the conductor wasn't buying it. People turned away, nobody wanted to get involved. Grace watched him. Something about his quiet honesty tugged at her. She knew what it meant to need help, to be invisible. Without thinking too hard, she stood up, walked to the front, and handed over her last bit of cash. "I'll pay for him," she said, voice barely above a whisper. The bus went silent. The conductor just shrugged and waved Samuel in. He sat a few rows ahead, and Grace returned to her spot by the window, her heart pounding, but her spirit somehow lighter. Samuel glanced back just once, really seeing seeing her not as charity, but as a lifeline. That ride didn't last forever, but the impact did. Samuel tried to focus on the chaos, missing meetings, lost phone, but all he could think about was her, the stranger who helped without expecting a thing. When Grace got off, he thanked her, voice quiet, eyes earnest. She just shrugged, said everyone needs help sometimes, and disappeared into the busy street. Samuel watched her go, not even knowing her name, but he knew he'd never forget her. That night, Samuel wandered home, if you can call a marble mansion a home, feeling more alone than ever. He stared at the ceiling, sleep nowhere in sight. Next morning, he did something crazy, went right back to the neighborhood, walking the same streets, scanning every face, hoping for a sign. Nothing. Then, the smell of bread pulled him into a small bakery, and there she was, Grace, behind the counter, tying her apron, completely focused. He almost lost his nerve, but when she saw him, her eyes went wide. "Oh, you," she said, and Samuel just grinned. "Yeah, me." He tried to play it cool, just passing by. Needed coffee, but the truth was he couldn't stop thinking about her. Day after day, Samuel came back. At first, Grace kept it polite, but eventually she couldn't help but ask, "You don't get tired of sitting here?" He teased back, "Maybe it's the company." They joked, traded stories, slowly letting down their guards. Samuel never said who he was, just another guy who liked coffee and peace and maybe just maybe her. Grace told him her dreams. One day, her own bakery, her name on the sign, enough money so she and her mama wouldn't have to worry. Samuel said he worked in hospitality, not a total lie, but not the whole truth either. Then, one night, everything shifted. Grace was heading home, arms full of supplies, when she saw Samuel step out of a shiny black Jeep, flanked by men in suits, barking orders about Stoneway hotels. Her heart dropped. He wasn't just some regular guy. She Googled his name, and sure enough, he was that Samuel Stone. Next morning, she confronted him, pain and disappointment mixing in her voice. "Why didn't you tell me the truth?" Samuel said he wanted to be normal with her, not a name or a brand. She wasn't sure she could trust him, but Samuel asked for the chance to earn it, to start again with honesty. Their relationship changed, got deeper. Samuel invited Grace to lunch, this time at his office, all glass and marble and intimidating grandeur. She felt out of place, but Samuel reassured her. It didn't feel right without her there. Days passed, and Samuel's mother, Mrs. Stone, stormed in, furious at his new poor girl. Samuel, for the first time in his life, pushed back. "She's real. She treats me like a man, not a brand." When his mother demanded he choose, Samuel chose freedom and Grace, walking away from the company, from the weight of expectation, to build something new. News of his resignation exploded everywhere. Grace was stunned, unsure if she was worth the sacrifice. That night, her mama told her, "Sometimes true love comes messy. But when it comes, you don't let go." Next morning, Samuel walked back into the bakery, lighter, freer. He told Grace about a piece of land he owned, wanted to build something together. Her bakery, her dream, their future. She said yes, heart-pounding. They started planning sketches and arguments over curtain colors, laughter and quiet hope. Samuel became someone new, patient, relaxed, fully present. And Grace, well, she finally felt seen. Not everyone was on board. Mrs. Stone visited Grace, apologized honest and raw for fighting their love. "You gave my son peace, something money can't buy." They hugged, two women letting go of fear. But past hurts lingered. Grace's toxic ex, David, tried to worm his way back in, but Samuel stood firm, warning him off for good. Grace encouraged Samuel to find balance, maybe return to Stoneway, but on his own terms, as the man he'd become. One evening, by the ocean, Samuel proposed, simple and true. "Do you see yourself with me in 10 years? 20? 50? Grace said yes right there, with stars overhead, no gold-trimmed invitations, just love and two families coming together. They married on that beach, barefoot, hearts full, their mothers watching with pride and happy tears. A few months later, the bakery opened, sunlight pouring through wide windows, customers laughing, the smell of cinnamon and hope in the air. Grace's place stood right beside Stoneway Boutique Hotel, a sign of dreams built together. Samuel ran both worlds, at peace for the first time. On quiet afternoons, they stood in the rooftop garden, hands entwined, grateful for the small act that started at Alabus Fair, a bit of faith and a whole lot of love. So tell me, would you have done what Grace did on that bus, given away your last bit of hope to help a stranger? Does love ever start where you least expect? Or is destiny just another word for courage? Drop your thoughts below, and if you believe in kindness and second chances, or just in the power of a good story, share this with someone who might need a little hope today.